on how your off season went, what kind of goals you had after the spring to get yourself ready for this week.
Yeah, I feel like one of my biggest things is just getting stronger and building my body armor for camp, and I feel like this summer really helped with that. Improved in pretty much every max or test that we did, so I felt like that was one of my biggest things. Is I just wanted to feel a lot stronger in this body, and that's one of the things I've accomplished, so I'm happy about that.
What I know I talked to Ben briefly at Big Ten Media Days. He was saying some of the Olympic lifts that he was doing was really helping with flexibility, that kind of stuff. I mean, have you seen similar, growth from those different type of exercises you've been doing?
Yeah, I feel like one of the biggest things is like range of motion that Coach Campbell and his staff preaches, is making sure you're getting your depth, and through squat and power clean and everything like that, just kind of getting all the way through the motion. It's not always about the weight, but being able for your joints and ligaments to hold up for that, and I feel like that's definitely improved.
Another thing we talked to Ben about in Indy was Dylan, just him, but all the quarterbacks, but specifically him in the way that he's embraced being, more than just a freshman, more than just a quarterback. And it's easy to see on social media with recruiting and camps and various things. But what about with the linemen? What's it been like? Quarterback, of course, is going to have a relationship with his lineman, with his center, with his left tackle. What's it been like for you to get to know Dylan over the last 6 to 8 months?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like his transition was pretty smooth because, getting to know Coach Donnie for the last 3 years, I feel like they're pretty much the same person. Mentality-wise, the way they approach the game of football is very, just in-depth, and you can tell, how much they care about this sport and this team. And I feel like that's just kind of helped me because of how much I care about this team, just kind of bond with him through that aspect. And then outside of football, Dylan's just a great guy to get to know. Kind of he's telling us stories about growing up with his dad with the Detroit Lions and him meeting Eminem and stuff like that. I just feel like that's just kind of the cool things you get to know about somebody.
Did you think you guys as a team wondered about that before you got to know him? I mean, he was a rare player where you'd heard a lot about him before he ever was a part of the program. And so do you have questions? Did you wonder, hey, is this guy going to fit in?
I feel like when he would be here on visits, we were around him enough to understand that kind of who he is and kind of what makes him tick. And I was confident that he was going to get here and just kind of get to work right away. And that's kind of what he just showed up and proved, that he just wanted to get here and prove something in the first year, and he's doing a good job at it.
Teddy, when that broke that he was going to come here, or the crystal balls or whatever, were guys pretty fired up?
I thought it was fake. I was sitting at home, I was doing laundry, and someone texted me. He's like, "Yo, check Twitter. Is this real?" And I went on Twitter. I'm like, "Dude, I have no idea." And then, sure enough, a few weeks later, he was committed. I was like, "Oh, all right." That was real. Donnie kept it close to the chest. Everyone was just kind of I don't know. It could be happening. It couldn't be. And then, when it did happen, we were like, "All right, that's pretty cool." So.
You think that gave Nebraska a boost, just in general, not so much specifically with recruiting. I understand it was late in that in gathering that class, but just for the profile of the program, to be able to say that you signed a 5-star quarterback.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that helps. One of the biggest things, it gets kind of people talking about Nebraska. I mean, I feel like we deserve to be in the national spotlight, and we want to play on those big games and be talked about. And I feel like that definitely got the word out, hey, Nebraska's got something building over there. So I feel like that kind of all plays into it.
Has he done stuff, Dylan, with the linemen this offseason? I know he did some things with the receivers at times, but quarterback offensive line relationship is I'm sure going to mature. What have you guys spent time with him off the field?
We went out to Isles Pizza, and that's my favorite pizza spot in Lincoln, and he brought us out there. We kind of ran up the bill a little bit, but he took care of it. But it was just kind of stuff like that, hanging out in the facilities, outside the facilities. We've been to Coach Donnie's house a few times, and he's been there and hung out with us there, played UFC and new NCAA games, so it's been fun.
If you take the O-line out for pizza, you kind of know what you're getting into.
Yeah, I'm sure he kind of figured it's going to be a pretty steep bill with a lot of their wings are really good too, which I mean, we knew that from last season, but their wings and their pizza are top tier, in my opinion.
How many pizzas are you talking?
Well, I mean, I know I get a large, and
For
then
yourself?
yeah, because then I eat about half of it there, and then the rest of it will be like the next day. I'll finish that. But like we usually go through 12 baskets of wings, and then everyone usually either splits a large or gets like a medium or a large for themselves. So
You guys as a unit obviously take a lot of pride in protecting your quarterback, but now going into the second year in this offense, quarterback's a little more familiar with, how it works, quick reads, getting the ball out fast, what type of improvements have you been seeing so far from the guys in that department?
I feel like just across the board, all the quarterbacks are kind of like stepping up into that understanding the football and understanding how this offense is supposed to roll. And Heiner's done a good job of kind of showing the younger guys like what to expect, and Dylan's done a good job of kind of pushing the pace of like making checks at the line and stuff like that. But I feel like all of them are taking great strides.
What kind of development have you seen from Heinrich just from last year going into this season?
I feel like he's stronger, faster, more of a leader, and it's all qualities you want to see in a quarterback like him. And he's a great guy, and I feel like he's taken a bunch of steps this offseason to just kind of improve on his game.
What do you think of kind of maybe the togetherness, the chemistry that this offensive line has? Because several of you have played together for several seasons now.
Yeah, well, when Coach Donnie came in, it was his standard that he set for us, and his ultimate goal was for us to kind of take that, develop it into our own, and build on it. And I feel like, we show up to lifts together, meetings together. We don't leave the locker room until everyone's kind of with us, and that's helped us. Guys aren't late to things. Guys aren't missing meetings or meals or anything like that. And I feel like we've really embraced that whole together mindset, and it's just kind of brought us all closer together. We know more things that we didn't know about each other beforehand, and it's just been really good.
Hey, Teddy, year 2 in the dorms for you. How does a 6'10" guy handle a twin bed for 2 weeks?
It's not fun, but I was saying what I usually do is I flip to the other side, so that my feet can kind of hang off like the headboard is, because if I don't, they sit on the desk and it's all elevated weird. It's not comfortable, so my head's usually flipped around the other side. But
Are you allowed to bring like an air mattress if you want to?
I'm sure you can, but I travel pretty light. I roll 2 pillows and a blanket and a fan, and that's about all I'm bringing. So
No PS5. Are you guys as excited about the new college football game as my kid, as the coach you're talking about?
yeah, I had to stop playing with Nebraska for the dynasty because I was getting too emotionally invested. So I was like, I can't do it because I'm not the best at the game. I'm pretty bad, but so I switched to like Air Force. I'm going to rebuild Air Force or something like that. And so that's kind of been my mindset. I'm just going to take a school that I have no connection to and just rebuild them.
How beneficial is, though, living in the dorm with the guys? Having gone through it once, knowing what you get out of it. What do you get out of it?
I just feel like the camaraderie runs pretty high, the camaraderie with all the boys, just kind of in the trenches together. It's pretty fun. Like you get back and from long days of camp, go to the dorms, you sit in like one of like the living room areas. Usually it's pretty quiet until someone's like, all right, who wants to recap the day? And we just kind of tell war stories, but then we just go to bed. But it's pretty fun just hanging out and getting close with the guys.
Who's your roommate?
I'm not sure. After this, I'm going to go move in. I'll find out. They usually do it where we switch like offense, defense are together, so I'll probably be with the defensive back or something.
Who'd you have last year?
I had Gage Stanger, and it was great.
Yeah.
We both showed up in the room, recapped the day, and we're like, all right, going to bed. And it was perfect. We just go right to bed.
Millie South.
Oh, yeah, Millard South.
Is your mindset different in 2024 because you've had kind of the most extended run of being healthy, of being able to go through a full spring, of not having to think about rehabilitation?
Yeah, I feel like my biggest goal this offseason was just get stronger, feel healthy, and that's kind of where I'm at now. Feel strong, feel healthy, feel ready to go, and I feel like just kind of taking that pressure off of having to come in and do rehab stuff, coming in and having to do treatment stuff. Like being able to just kind of build my own process that I know this is what is going to make my body feel better throughout the week. That's just helped a lot.
Does that feel mentally different? Is your schedule different? Does it allow you to do other things instead of being in the trainer's room?
Yeah, I feel like there's a bit more freedom with the recovery aspect, and I don't have to be thinking like, okay, here's my next milestone. I have to like be able to have this range of motion with my arm, or I have to have this range of motion with my leg. Like I feel able to just kind of go work out, go do some drills, and then just go recover and just hit like the boots or the cold tubs and just kind of stuff like that I would usually have to go do treatment and stuff.
When you were a young tackle in the program, and I know you played a lot early, Can you compare kind of how you were coming along to what you see from like Gunner, Tyler, and I don't know if there's other young tackles that you want to include in that conversation, but what do you see from like this next group that's coming up?
Yeah, I feel like what like all freshman linemen are having kind of common is like we're super hungry to just get out and play right away, but like the development process is so key, and I feel like Gunner and Tyler, they've done a really good job of like understanding that development's got to usually come first, and that's kind of like I didn't really fully develop into what I am now. Like I feel like I just kind of went right at it right away, but they're doing a really good job of getting in the weight room. Gunner's grown so much since when he first got here. He's huge, and just getting stronger and kind of understanding the playbook fully, and they're doing a really good job at that.
How much has Mazuka blended in with you guys more as the off season's gone along? Of course, he was new in the spring or in the winter, and you know, Coach was the first one to say had some times where it was tough to adjust. So what have you seen from him as the off season's gone on?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a really good job, just kind of buying into the culture that we have here, and yeah, the first few weeks were an adjustment for him, and I feel like he's doing a really good job kind of meshing with the guys and getting to know us, and we're getting to know him, and it's just been really good.
Hey, Teddy, have you guys been able to go on the new training table yet to eat, or is that open this week for you guys?
Dinner tonight. I'm excited.
Have you got like a peek at it?
I walked through a couple days ago. I walked through there. It's just kind of being like, where am I going to sit? What path am I going to take through the buffet line area? So I've seen it, and it looks really nice. I saw there's a soft serve ice cream spot, so I don't know if I'm going to be attacking that so much with my diet, but I might have to dip in there at some point during camp.
So when you guys went and got pizza, was it the whole, like, how many linemen go on that?
I think there was like 9 of us, maybe. It was like kind of like the 1 and 2 deep that went. It was pretty much the older guys, really, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Teddy, Coach Satterfield was talking about it. Sorry if you've been asked this already, but he said this is one of the most experienced offensive line groups he's ever been around. I mean, do you feel that way, and does that mean you expect to take a bigger jump this year?
Yeah, I feel like just kind of our communication's been the biggest thing for us. Like, we all speak the same language. We all see through one set of eyes, and that's been one of the most beneficial things over the summer, is just kind of developing that communication across the line.
Do you see a difference in where you are right now versus, I mean, do you compare that where you are right now versus last year when you're still getting acclimated to the system, learning guys' tendencies, that sort of thing?
I mean, I feel like I'm definitely more ahead than I was last year at this time. I feel the biggest thing is I just feel stronger. I feel healthy, and that's one of the biggest things. Like, I don't have to worry about, oh boy, what's going to be the thing that brings me down this time. Like, I'm be able to play free and just not worry about that stuff.
How does that help when you've got your mind clear like that?
You just see the field, the game slows down, you see the field a bit better, and just kind of pick up on things that you might not see if I was worried about other stuff.
Teddy, O-line play is always important, but when you guys have the youth in the quarterback room that you have on the current team, does it amplify the significance of the role that you guys play?
I feel like the quarterbacks do a good job of kind of like they understand how we operate, and they do a good job meshing with us. I feel like with the young guys, we kind of have to like stick with it a couple times. Maybe they make the wrong check. Like, if we give a protection call, maybe they make the wrong check, and that's going to happen. Good thing is we have another 3 weeks to kind of figure all that stuff out, and I feel like it's just been really good getting to know those young guys, because they're all like very different in their own way, and it's just been fun getting to know them.
What do you mean they're very different?
I mean, I feel like Danny Kalen's like, he has his own kind of quirks and stuff in the locker room. He plays ping pong a lot. Dylan's kind of a music guy, plays a lot of music. And then Heinrich, I feel like I've just known him for so long. Like, he's just a carny boy. I don't know. That's the only way I could say it.
When it comes to Dylan in particular, I mean, I know you're focused on the guy, across from you, but when you go back and watch film and you watch what Dylan does, what impresses you most about him on the field and off the field?
I feel like he's got, you got to talk about his arm. His arm's pretty good, his decision making, and then off the field, the way he attacks like recovery and film and watching film, like, he is always here. He's always doing extra stuff, and I feel like that's really cool to see.
How much do you appreciate that he's putting in that extra work, because he could come in here with all the hype and be like, I don't have to do any of this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's just kind of how he was raised. Like, I mean, his dad played however many years in the NFL. Like, he has told him, like, hey, you want to take care of your body, you want to play that long, start now taking care of your body, working on those fundamentals. And I feel like you kind of see that with Coach Donnie too. Like, he's like, hey, you take care of your body, work your fundamentals, and it's going to pay off in the long run. So I just really cool to see.
Who wins between Rule and Kalen in ping pong?
Oh boy. I feel like Rule's kind of got the edge. That guy's cold at ping pong. So
What's his
I-
makes him great?
I mean, I don't play ping pong. I just sit back and observe, and I feel like he's got that like humble confidence that he's always talking about, where he's like, all right, yeah, we can play some ping pong, and then he skunks you and you don't score a single point.
Is it like an Olympic serve he does? Or
I mean, nothing crazy. He's just got that. He's got that swagger about him when he plays that can get in some dudes' heads. They're not fully there.
You've had some flashes in your career. How important is it to you to stay healthy this year and really put full 12-plus games on film this year?
I mean, really important. One of the biggest things is like I got to have the film and just staying healthy, taking care of my body when I'm not practicing, after practice, just to ensure that I can stay on the field as long as I can.
Where's your confidence level right now? I mean, given the health and being able to have stayed healthy for the last 12 months, I mean, where's your confidence at this point going into the season?
Really high. One of our biggest goals as an offense was building confidence over this offseason, and I feel like I've taken care. I've put myself in a position where I can be confident going into camp, and like I feel like going into the last spring ball or this previous spring ball, like it was the kind of same level of confidence, but after that, just building on that, watching the film, seeing what I could improve on, and then improving on it. Like the confidence there.
Do you feel like the line as a whole has a lot of confidence? Because that's what Bryce was kind of saying.
Yeah. I feel like we're all confident with our abilities, and we all know that we have the experience and the strength and the mental game and all that stuff. Like we're pretty confident with what we can do.
Thanks, Teddy.